So the right foundations, and everything kind of then starts to work from that. So the 3 circles that I want to first touch on, it's going to be, and you need to fix your 3 circles. We'll draw them here because this kind of really illustrates the point. I'll use different colours. Someone told me when teaching it's a good idea to use different colours. Gets your mind activated. So we'll have here, this can be our usability circle. Then we've got our technical circle. And then we have our links circle. And what happens just in here, this is where all the magic happens. This is where you get good rankings. And once all of these 3 things work together, that's when things start to come alive. And if you think about it, it's almost like a multiplier effect. Google's calculating for each one of these areas, they're calculating and giving your website a score. So if you get a very low score on one of these things, it's going to undermine everything else. So previously, when people just thought, oh, I've got a problem here with my site, I'm just going to send a whole bunch of other links to it, you might have some usability issues, which might be related to Panda, and they've given you a bad quality score, and it's pulling everything down. So step 1 with now, SEO is much, much wider than it ever used to be. It is everything from the usability and how people are engaging through to your site to technically how easy is it for Google to get around the website and crawl it and understand it, and how quickly is it loading. But then also your links as well. And I have seen negative SEO happen. We're working with a client who's based out of the States. He's in a very competitive space. He's in the stock market niche space. And he has been he's had the effect of negative SEO, where he's received a manual penalty for links to his website that he didn't build. Google has put it back now onto the website owner and the webmaster to clean up your own profile. Like that's just what you have to do. It's just the way that it is now. And whether or not you did it or someone else did it, you have to fix it up because it could be holding everything else back. So there are 3 main areas that we need to fix. How many are there? 3. And what are they? Usability, technical, and links. And it's a little bit like this point system. So we've got the points here, and it's a multiplier effect. So we just need to go through and start to clean up what's going on in your site. And sometimes I've seen people will call up and they'll go, why is it that this smaller competitor is outranking me? Sometimes it's really frustrating. You use something like Market Samurai and you do your analysis and you look at the old technicals on a website thinking, by rights, I should be outranking them. You know, I've got an older site here, I've got tons more backlinks, I've got a huge index count. But the problems that we find, I might give this to you, Steve, looks like the password's dropped out again. I shouldn't have. No, there we go. You'll often find the reason that you're getting beaten by bigger competitors or why you're getting outranked is oftentimes because one of those areas you're weak in and it's holding you back. So you have to address this first because you might be looking at all the SEO things, but SEO is so much more now. So that's why we need to do that analysis. Also, the other reason why sometimes you get outranked by smaller competitors has to do with localization. This is now a really big thing. Google's big push with Google Now and things like that, they want to understand everything that you're doing on Google, and then they want to serve the best and most relevant information to you at that point in time. So Google Now, if you haven't seen it, gets access to your Google Calendar, and then it knows you're in Crown Casino and you've got an appointment over, in Greensborough in an hour, and it knows based on the traffic that you should head now, otherwise you're not going to make it on time. And if you're connected in for Google Now, it'll say, you better get going now, otherwise you're going to be late for your meeting. And that's kind of where they're going. And again, just thinking about what it is that they're trying to do, serve the relevant info at the right time, means that we're going to see more and more based on localization. If you're in an industry and you just type in like electrician or something like that into Google and you just paste just the root keyword, if you get phrases that come up like based on your geographic location. So you wrote in electrician, but all the results seem to be tailored for Melbourne, and it comes up with the maps, that's when you know Google's selected that one as a geographic location phrase. And in that case, they will skew the results based on different factors like, hey, what are some of the reviews they've seen on Yelp, because that is an influencing factor inside Google Local and stuff like that.